Yee, welcome to Barstool Bench Mob, presented by Noon Hard Seltzer. Um, I have weird feelings about college basketball right now. I do. Don't look at me like that, Rico. Don't tell me how
Well,
to feel.
I'm worried that they're like negative because we're in a we just also might have had the most positive pre-show ever. So like, let's not ruin it. What do you
That
have?
is true. Jake hasn't wanted to kill us yet,
Right? Do you have
and
negative or do you have
Never want to
negative or
kill you.
positive?
me
Negative
and
or
you've been
positive?
getting along,
Yes.
and we're about to go on the road.
Which is
And
fun times.
you know
Fun
I love
Rico.
Rico Road.
Right. You have negative thoughts or positive thoughts?
No, it's not negative. I'm confused about a lot of things.
All
I
right.
am.
That's a good
I'm
tease. That's a good
confused
tease.
about a lot of things that I want to ask you guys.
All right.
And all it's going to do is create a positive and create more chaos in college basketball. But we're going to get into a bunch of the games. There was a lot of good games on Tuesday. A lot of good games on Wednesday.
Huge interview with Ed Cooley.
Yeah. Before when we say huge interview, it's a great interview. Like
He's the best.
They got smoked. He still came. I think it was genuinely our best interview we've done as a group. I really do. You agree?
Yeah. He said he arrived from Marquette to Providence at 3 a.m. 10 hours later. We did the interview earlier this afternoon. 10 hours later, after losing by 30 points, he's on the Zoom with us. So
and teaser, we told him 45 times that he got blown out last night. So
and he took it.
We did not shy away, I could tell you that. But yeah, there's interesting things we're getting into. Coach K talk, obviously, because he's always going to do something. And yeah, let's just get into it.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, again, I am here to talk to you about Noon Hard Seltzer. Every week, I'm sitting here like a schmo, always talking about High Noon.
Best.
Look at that can. He's got his starting five up there.
Starting five.
It's the best drink in the game. Real vodka,
best.
real juice, presented by real people. It's always an easy sponsor because it's the only thing I drink. I don't think there's ever been a time in my apartment that I haven't had High Noon stacked in my fridge. One, because Glenny Balls comes every weekend.
Okay.
And I always got the leftovers, and then it keeps happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say the supply at the office is running low, so I'm wondering how you're stacked. But
yeah,
Rico
also is a savage in the office, looking for him all the time. So it's black cherry, there's mango, there's peach, there's black. I think I said black cherry, pineapple,
lime, passion fruit.
So many flavors. Go out, get them now. Only at liquor stores because it's real vodka, none of that other nonsense. So, and again, every Saturday, show us your setup with your High Noon in your hand.
Yeah.
All right. The what I wanted to start the episode off with is I think I saw Rothstein tweet it, and I started thinking on a lot. It is confusing because the committee and all the people making these resumes and all that, you have to take don't you have to take into account of all these teams that are really, really damaged to COVID playing these games right now, where it's like UNC tonight, down 3 players, Texas Tech down 3 players to COVID.
Yeah.
And
Shannon was out, right?
Shannon was out. They had 2 other guys out. Like, when it comes to the tournament, when these people do have their resumes and like COVID's taking a huge hit on these teams, how do you properly rank them and properly, like, does that go into the formula? Does that go into their decision, or is it just like tough luck?
Well, you also have to remember that the selection committee, like we talked about, is still not a perfect science because that Big Ten game is played like right before. So the Big Ten championships played right before the bracket comes out. The Big Ten probably gets shafted if that matters. Like if if it's coming down to a 1 seed with that, they like kind of have to make the bracket. They've admitted to that. And that's why you've seen conferences move away from Sunday championship games. Like the Big 12 used to play that on Sunday. I think the ACC did for a little while. Either way, they move away. They want to be on Saturday night so that they get a fairer shake. But with that said, it's not a perfect science. But yeah, I think you have to, I don't know, like make columns of a team or like it's a lot. You're right. It's a lot of teams, but you got to like put it as like a true win, like at full strength. And then like another column of like, hey, you beat them, but they were down, or bump up wins where like you beat them and you were down. There's a lot of different like piles here.
I was just
to separate a team.
When it's like I one hand on my head, I was like, you have to like look at Seton Hall when they're playing these. They had a couple of games without their guys, and they're just trying to get these games played. And like even UNC tonight, like 3 guys are out. It takes a turn, but that's not fucking Notre Dame's fault. Like they're just playing their schedule, so it's hard. I see. I'm teetering on both with which one. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I think it's confirmed in the past that with injuries and suspensions, the committee does 100% take that into account. With COVID,
because I understand what you're saying, but you're right though. Like that is different though. You agree with COVID because it's so frequent and like so like these injuries. It's like it you know they're out. You know, like COVID, it just happens and you're like, okay, what the fuck?
Right. I think. I don't know how they specifically do it. I think a fair way to do it is only helping teams' resumes and not hurting. For example, if Duke loses to Miami, it could help Miami's resume, but Duke shouldn't be penalized for it. Does that make sense?
Like if like Paolo and Keels were out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like they should still get the credit for being number 2 team in the country.
But Duke shouldn't drop a seed because of it.
Because of the people out. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that's how they do it. I feel like that's a fair way to do it.
No, I think it's a fair way.
It is a fair way, but it's a lot because it's not just going to come down to that. You're going to be comparing, like, let's say Duke takes 2 losses in a row because of COVID, right? On a Thursday and a Saturday or whatever the ACC plays, Wednesday and Saturday. They lose those guys for those things. They lose 2 in a row. If that's Duke's, like, if Duke has 3 losses at the end of the year, and you're looking against them at like Kansas, but Kansas 3 losses were at full strength. You know what I mean? But then you also have another team on the like it's so many people to compare against. It's never just going to be a 1-to-1.
There's no perfect way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not. It's just interesting because it's annoying, man. It's like sometimes you've got these great games and it's like
we thought this was over.
Do you think I hate this word and this phrase? But do you think the eye test is going to matter the most?
I think it might. I think on paper, your on paper resume. That's what I was saying. If Duke has a win, or if Miami has a win over Duke, they might not look into who was out.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like if you start diving into that, you're going to be separating hairs so many different ways, splitting hairs so many different ways. I just feel like if they're deciding like who gets the last 2 seed or who gets the last 3 seed, they're going to be like, you know what? Like, yeah, I can look at all these things in COVID and break all that down, but like ultimately they have pretty much the same Ken Palms, the same record. I think like Florida is a better eyeball than Wisconsin. Like, you know what I mean? I think the eye test is going to hold a little bit more weight down the road.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, this year, I think.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just it's complicated.
That's
right
a good
now
discussion. No, it's good. It was healthy.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a true like and again, you don't want to beat. You're right. I mean, you need to find creative ways to like. Listen, you can't ignore fucking COVID. Like that's just the way it's going. Like it has to be. But like, and you've seen it.
This is the new age. This is a new world we live in. It's almost like I honestly don't think COVID's ever going away. So we're gonna have to deal with it with fucking until rules change. But right now, it's what sports are, and like guys are gonna be out.
But rather than beating it to the pulp of like, like guys are sick and talking about this and conference fucking policies, like talk to it about shit we care about, which is seeding, that was a good point, Marty. A very good point.
Wow. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah. Right now, UCLA's played 9 games. Michigan State's played 15. Like,
anybody west of I don't think we're going to have a team west of the Mississippi in the tournament. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
No negative vibes.
It is funny though with like rankings and stuff. Like Duke and UCLA didn't play for like almost a month, and they just stayed or went up in the rankings
because no one else has played.
I know it's like if you don't, as long as you don't play, you're gonna be fine in this league.
Which goes to show you it's like flawed though. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I know.
All right,
Because I don't think
so-
we know shit about UCLA. I'll be honest. I really don't.
Oh, and before we get into the games and break it down, I gotta go through the gambling slate really fast. I'll
Yeah.
go fast. Miami,
Criminal.
Syracuse. Up 7 points with 9 seconds left. The spread is -2, Miami. First of all, Miami, great job coming back in the game. They
Yeah,
were down
Syracuse
big.
blew an 18-point lead, so you should have been fortunate to be in that game in the first place.
Not according to Danny Boy Kane. Did anyone see that fucking tweet?
No.
What was it?
I go, hey Danny, big win. He's like, what do you think? The ACC's down. You might be the second best team. He's like, yeah, but Syracuse crawled back in late. I'm like, Danny, you were down 14 at the half. Then no, it gets better. No, it gets better. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Danny, you were down 14 at the half. I said, that's a huge win. He goes, this is the reply. Yep, 44-30, period. 58-43 in the second half for Miami. Thanks, Danny. I don't even know.
Thanks for the stats, Dan.
Right, he literally just read off the box score. Whatever. He's the best in the business. I'm friends with him. Not mad at him. I've been blocked once before. Can't do it again. But he literally wrote off the box score.
Hey,
Whatever.
to be fair, we literally have a segment that ends every show of reading the box score.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean,
He's just a fan.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so no joke. I'm sitting on the couch. Dana's home eating carrots. I don't know what he's doing there. I was disgusted. I'm eating Taco Bell. He's eating carrots. I was very upset. And we're talking, and I go on my phone. I'm like, bro, we're up 7-9 seconds. Like, I honestly just kind of dozed off for a second. Count as a win. I didn't even see that they hit the first three that was down, that hit, and then missing that free throw, and then coming back down again, and then almost getting fouled and hitting that three was absolutely criminal. I turned to my head for a second. They scored 5 points or like whatever it was to cover that down. That was disgusting.
And Buddy Boeheim fouled out. He wasn't even making threes down the stretch.
Yeah, it wasn't even him. And they scored the last 15 seconds, they had 3 threes. It was disgusting.
And then how about Iowa State if you had them?
And then I had Texas Tech +4. So I was sulking, videotaping it just to show it. I'm like, look at this shit. I'm getting screwed again. And he banks it in. And let me tell you, that game was awesome.
So let's start with that game. It was the only. I mean,
we're starting with this game.
Okay,
All right.
let me set the scene. So
Yeah,
but for everyone else, so we're going reverse chronological. We recorded the Monday, Tuesday recap in studio earlier. But on paper, this is the only game of a ranked team versus a ranked team. Number 25, Texas Tech loses to number 11, Iowa State, 51-47. I think it took 8 minutes for Iowa State to score in the second half. I think it was like 7-0 at the under 12 or something.
Bro, Texas Tech has now played. Marty, do you remember the other game Texas Tech played that was significant?
Tennessee at the Garden.
Yeah,
equally
and
as
the
ugly.
Garden booed them
Yep, when I went to overtime.
to get them off the floor. The people are looking like I'm gonna miss my fucking train. I only came here for fucking Nova Villain, Syracuse. Get me out of here. Unbelievable. Texas Tech is wild.
Texas Tech is missing 3 key players. We have to say that.
But I get it, but they just play gross games.
I know that, but I mean, missing 3, it's like key players too. But
yeah, I mean, Shannon, obviously.
This is the second time it's happened. Is it maybe this defense is up to something? They got some weird shit going.
Number 5 defense.
It's just like
I'm gonna give you like an off-season story, or like maybe somebody who has the whole world fooled. See Kevin O'Banner's stat line today?
No,
34 minutes, 5 shots, 1 of 5. He had 3 points. He did have 10 rebounds, but like this kid had everybody fooled.
Yeah,
he thought he was the biggest transfer in the history of the world.
Because they're March Madness darlings.
He wasn't the darling, though.
He was the sidekick. He was the Robin.
Yeah,
right?
he was Robin, and he kept being like, "I'm going here, I'm going there." I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, 3 points, 1 of 5, but I mean, no one was really scoring in this game. Iowa State, we had our debate on the last show. Otzelberger, potential coach of the year. This is a very, despite the ugliness, impressive bounce back. 13-1.
They're Fugazi.
They hung with Baylor, Marty. They hung with Baylor.
And they have good wins.
They're fugazi.
I don't know if they're elite, but they're okay. They're pretty good.
All right.
All right. Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, next 3. They win 2 or 3. You're taking that off of them, right?
Deal.
I think that's fair.
I think Kansas blows them out of the water.
Where's the game?
At Oklahoma, at Kansas, home against Texas.
Kansas is 25. Kansas is a smash. You don't go. Kansas is
that
so
Jayhawk
much fun.
Is way too big.
Kansas is so much fun. I'll tell you, Kansas is so much fun to bet at home. But the other fun time too is Kansas in the Big 12 tournament. Bill Self fucking smashes people in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah, but at Oklahoma on Saturday first, we'll quickly see if they're a fraud or not.
Was one of those things where it was so bad, it was so good.
Yeah, everyone kept tweeting like, "I can't look away. This is fucking horrible."
I couldn't look away. I literally was like, "This is so bad."
There was like that sequence of the dunk on one end, 4-point plays. I don't know, 51. Those games where it's in the 40s. They're tough, but we're gonna watch.
Marty, listen, let's end on a positive note though. The parlay hit tonight.
Recap what it was.
Yeah,
triple-double.
Triple-double. It was Villanova by 9.5, which we had to sweat out. That was a hard one. Houston, easy winner against South Florida, and Michigan State, who we'll see Saturday. So they beat Nebraska.
Yeah. So shout out to the mobsters on the Barstool Sportsbook, boosted to plus 275. Bet responsibly.
I'm pretty sure we're still up for the year.
Yeah, are we?
Yeah, I think we take like 3 steps back. And we always hit one.
Love it. And then off to the SEC. Number 15, Alabama 83, Florida 70. I mean, Rico, these are your guys against, I guess, my guys. It feels like the Gators haven't had a meaningful game in a long time. They're 9-4. They hadn't played in 2 weeks, but big road win for Bama.
Yeah. So they shot not so great from 3, but the big thing to me was 12 turnovers, and most of them from watching. I don't have a stat on this, but most of them from watching were in the first half. Like I noticed that, like they played really well in the second half. They turned the defense up. Yeah, is Florida not the most impressive win? It's an you got to go on the road and beat people, though. We saw that with,
That's what I was going to say. That's a win they needed to have. That's their first true road win that they needed. Like, because they didn't have one, right? Like they beat Gonzaga on neutral. They lost Iona.
Their first true road win.
Yeah, I mean their first road shot was Memphis, and they got waxed. So
yeah, exactly. So it's their first true road win, which is big for them. I mean,
undefeated, still undefeated in the league.
What was impressive with them tonight is that Florida did make that they were winning pretty much at the beginning the entire time, and then they made a run back in the second half to make it closer, and then they just went on a run and didn't look back. And Quinterly looked great. Shackelford looked good. What's his name? Did he come back? Ellis?
Yeah, he came back.
He came back. I saw him go off.
He had a sick dunk.
Unbelievable dunk. He's one of the best two-way guards in the country.
He is.
I would love to see him play Ivy. I really would.
This was a good stepping stone win for Alabama, where it was a game they should win, and that was it. Did you see the stat that Castleton's the only undefeated tip ball guy right now in the entire NCAA?
Somebody lost yesterday, right?
Marty loves that.
I'm pretty sure Ken Palm made up that stat or keeps track of it.
No,
I'm pretty sure. Give him credit.
Interesting.
No, not him.
I'm pretty sure Castleton. Did he win tonight?
I don't know. I didn't see a tip. I'm sure he
find out right now. Play by play, first half. Jump ball won by Alabama. Marty, get the fuck. What are you doing?
So
he lost it tonight then, or
he lost it tonight.
That has it.
No, yeah, we heard from Ed Cooley. We're hearing from Ed Cooley later in the show, but it was Providence's Nate Watson who lost a jump ball for the first time on Tuesday. That makes Florida the last unbeaten in jump balls. Colin Castleton is the king of the jump ball castle.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I like the stat.
One last
the tips for your Marty, your prop for college. You should have taken Castleton.
One last note. I think they got to figure it out with Davison, JD Davison, 5-star recruit. I don't know. 0 of 3, 20 minutes. He didn't turn the ball over tonight, which is huge. He only had the 1 turnover, but
Yeah, I don't think it's him. I don't think it's them. I think it's him. I don't think he has the
Yeah.
confidence right now.
yeah, I just don't, they're going to
15
need
total points in the last 4 games.
Yeah. Now he's a natural passer. Like he's very unselfish. You see that. But yeah, I don't know. He's got to pick it up a little bit to have that
He's
option.
a very good passer. I saw
Right.
that tonight too.
Also,
Yeah.
off night for Gurley. He played 6
Foul
minutes and
trouble.
fouled out.
Yeah, foul trouble.
So that was interesting. But yeah, Florida, I still think they should be a tournament team. They have
Marty,
Auburn at Auburn. It's a tough
Marty,
game.
you asked last week and you were probably right. Who's the best team in the SEC? And now I think our friends in Lexington are moving up the ladder, but also our friend Will Wade is moving up. Who's the second best team in the SEC? Real quick.
Alabama.
No, I'm genuinely like.
Yeah, no, I honestly think it's Alabama.
Okay.
LSU has it. LSU obviously is a better record, but they don't have as impressive of a resume.
I'll tell you this: the fact that you're like deciphering it, and you have, let's say Auburn is undisputed 1, right?
I think they really are.
You're choosing between Alabama, LSU, Kentucky,
That's
and
pretty
like
much it. Maybe
Tennessee. Tennessee's still up there. I'm saying that's a good 5. I just keep saying it.
Tennessee was a tough one tonight.
Yeah, they were bad. Ole
Yeah.
Miss, whatever. They're another team that's like Virginia. They're just gonna play ugly. But I will say though, like I think those 5 are stronger than anybody going forward. The Big 12 maybe, but it's just a strong league. That's all I got. Strong league.
Absolutely. We're gonna go back and forth. I'd be stunned if Auburn was the number 1 team throughout. They could win it. I don't think they're gonna stay number 1 throughout the next 3 months.
Really, you don't think so?
You think they can win wire to wire first place?
I don't think that means they're gonna go like undefeated, but I do think so.
Too hard of a league. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna take a couple of L's, but they'll still
take
be.
L's, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna not be in like Alabama's could lose before they play them. Like I don't think it's.
Yeah, but I'm
crazy.
saying first place, holding first place the whole season.
They'll take it out, I guess, but dude, I don't know, man. They are so well rounded. I'm bullocks on them.
I know. It's been your best take so far, and we'll get to one of your wrong takes later in the show regarding a certain conference out west that you're finally admitting to being wrong. Semi-wrong.
No. Yeah, don't say that yet.
Semi-wrong. All right, so those are the 2 marquee games. We can go quickly on the rest of these. You mentioned Syracuse, Miami. We have this debate later as well. Miami might be the second best team in the ACC. They have 10 wins. Syracuse, unfortunately, I don't know if we can talk about them until they go on a winning streak because they're 500. Did you see the stat? It's the latest in a season. Syracuse has been 500. I believe it was under Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, that's because he plays
46 years.
That's because he plays Cortland, Hobart, and fucking Utica up fucking state. He wins by 90 and he's undefeated by Christmas.
I thought it was an interesting stat. 46 years though. 46 years. And then elsewhere, Tennessee struggles.
You can't lose when you start off 9-0 every year against shitbags. You're not
But
gonna.
Atlantis.
Signal. They did it this year.
They went to Atlantis, Villanova, Florida State, Indiana.
Yeah, never again. He's gonna go back to playing Hobart.
Hobart Statesman.
That's why he's 500. He finally he caught up to him.
Tennessee struggles but gets the win against Ole Miss. Ole Miss not a bad team though, but
They were
took
16.5 point favorites.
That's easy for you.
Yeah, it was great for me.
Yeah, and then Villanova. My take is starting to look good. What do you guys think? The smoke Creighton 75-41.
Yeah, anytime they smash Creighton, I'm gonna be happy. But I'm flipping now. Like all these people who say like, hey, you ruin everything, you mush everything or whatever. Guess what? 2022 national champion Villanova.
Whoa.
No.
Marty just walked off.
Yeah. Yeah. Marty, I don't
watch on YouTube for this reaction.
I don't want to be on it.
No, Marty, I don't believe it. No, you have to let me clarify. I don't believe it, but I'm done trying to figure him out. So, all right, guess what? You're gonna win the national title.
You don't believe
So
it.
now you're hedging your takes?
What?
Are you hedging your takes?
You can't just say
Yes, I said it because I'm done. I'm done going against them.
You can't just say they're gonna win the championship in 2022 and then be, oh, Marty, I'm not just saying that. You said it.
No, I am just saying it so they get off my back because I've been. Well, we'll put it this way. Why am I going to put myself through this torture of like going against them every week or saying they're not that good? So now I'm just going to flip it and fucking say, hey, you know what? You're the best team in the country. I won't hear otherwise.
And I think they're.
I don't believe it.
I don't think they're gonna make the Sweet 16.
Neither do I. But at this point, I'm not committed. I have to. I'm sick of it. I got Philly Mays throwing fish on my desk. I got fucking
Jacob. This is the most outrageous thing I've ever heard.
I'm just flipping it on him now. You don't like me saying you're bad. Now guess what? I'm gonna mush you to the end of the world. I'm gonna say you're the best.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they lost to Creighton early on. This was
by 20.
This is an easy win for Villanova. You just knew they were gonna smoke them. I'm telling you, they don't have the depth.
How many bench points? How many bench points they have tonight?
How many?
5.
Who cares? I mean, wins are wins.
You have to care because
listen, I'm not giving him credit anymore because he doesn't like me. It's very evident. But certain prominent reporter calls
Don Rothstein.
Yeah, Fortune 500 company. It's kind of true. They change CEOs. Like, you know what you're getting, you know? Like, they're fucking Hilton hotels. You're always going to have a nice bed.
Things, dude. I'm not saying Villanova's bad. I know they're good. They're just not. They're not going. They're not. I don't think they're an elite team. I think they're a good team. I do think like they'll be be in the top of the Big East, of course. But I just don't think that. I don't even think they make the Sweet 16 this year.
I don't either.
Yeah, I mean,
but they'll win the national championship.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
What do you want? No, I
know you're joking around.
I'm done. Like, I'm done.
No, you're still on real talk. You're still on the side that they're not going to make a run.
Right.
You're just
on my side.
Yeah, he's still on your side.
Yeah, I guess the best way to maybe we'll just do it this way then. Back off the national championship. I am now neutral on Villanova. I have no more opinions. I won't say they're good. I won't say they're bad.
All right, so you're gonna Jake it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Am I allowed?
Yeah, you can Jake.
I should be able to because this fucking team puts me through torture. You ever hear my call to Francesa?
No, Rico. Why?
2016, I was telling him about the 3-point thing. I'm like, they shoot too many threes. You saw it last year. Fade him in the tournament. He goes, Rico, there's not even a bracket out yet. It's the middle of February. And he hung up on me. So whatever. I faded him. I got hurt. It is what it is. I'm done with Nova.
Yeah, so that's Rico's take on Villanova. They can win it all. They can make the Sweet 16. They can miss the tournament. They can win the CBI. Rico will be right on Villanova one way or another.
I think that's what I want. That's what I want. I want to have something right. We're only going to release the part that ends up being correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, no opinions on Nova anymore. Done with it.
You know those people who tweet like, Yankees win AL East, Rays win AL East, Red Sox win AL East, and then they delete 4 of the 5 and go back to it, and they're like, I was right 6 months ago.
Smart.
You should do that tomorrow, Rico. Keep them all.
We got a lot of old takes exposed knows who I am, though. They file some things.
Yeah, they have I have my own folder with them.
Yeah, they know what's up.
That's fair. And then the other game of note, Notre Dame 78, North Carolina 73. I know you touched on it earlier.
Yeah, you guys talk about that game. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll catch up on some reading.
If you're watching on YouTube, Rico is reading Mike Bray's book. Rico, we should get him on the podcast.
I know we should. They told you guys. I mean, Marty, they fucking have better wins than Michigan.
Because Michigan hasn't won anything.
Okay, I'm just saying right now.
But again, this is the COVID thing. UNC had 3 guys out.
Yeah, right. Whatever. I'm just like, we did say it. Like, I asked you, like, hey, can Notre Dame? Is this the start of like turning around? You kind of said dead no.
I still
listen.
They
shot awesome from 3. That's not going to happen every night. But the ACC's down. If they can get to the 4th team, it's house money. Like, they just want to get in the tournament. So
they were supposed to play Duke already, and if they get rescheduled and play Duke and beat them, they're in pretty much. I really do believe that. But like, their resume is bad, but it's also like they beat Kentucky and UNC, which is like pretty good.
Shot 42% from 3 tonight.
Yeah. So I mean, they're an okay team. They're not terrible.
I mean, basically, if you go above 500 in the ACC, that might be enough, right? If you didn't have a terrible non-conference.
Who was Carolina missing, though? Because Baycott, Davis, Love, Black, they're all in the lineup.
They missed Dawson Garcia, the Marquette transfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, I guess he's the only one of note. So.
Yeah, I mean, they got nothing off the bench. They still beat him, Marty, with basically their starting 5, no?
No, yeah. I mean, there's still people out, but like, I don't know. It's I'm confused, man. I'm confused.
Well, back to your original thing, like, you can't discredit, like, Notre Dame beat North Carolina. That's all we're going to talk about in March.
And Kentucky.
But I'm saying with the COVID thing specifically.
Yeah.
Like, North Carolina won the game, or Notre Dame won the game, and they're not going to look back and, I think, nitpick this type of game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to see it. They won. Okay. No Dawson Garcia, but they had Love, Baycott, Davis, Brady Manick. I don't know.
This was the first like full UNC game I really did watch, like completely, pretty much. I'll say it is weird not seeing Vertigo Roy down there. It's weird seeing him not pass out on the sidelines and with his checkered things. It is. I'm serious. Like, it is serious. Like, it's like you're like looking for him almost. No,
I think it's gonna be even weirder if Hubert Davis is not the guy, and we got to go through this again, like Carolina, which they did for a little while. Who was the guy? He was oddly enough from Notre Dame. Was it Daugherty? Matt Daugherty? It's Jake's not gonna know. It's out of his thing. But I'm pretty sure it's Matt Daugherty was the coach of UNC. They were finding their way for a little bit after Dean and before Roy. Yeah, it was, right? So if UNC goes into that thing where they keep like it's a fucking a car wash, that's even weirder.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, Big Hubert's not going to be the guy. I mean, that's obviously the thing. I mean, like Shire's going to be like my kids are going to be watching Coach Shire.
Such a fucking guy hasn't coached one game, and you're already saying, all right.
Yeah, my kids are going to be watching like, oh, Dad, like tell me about Coach Shire. Like, oh, I saw him play some, and he's the best coach of all time, backing up the best coach of all time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just want, like I said, I for the rivalry, and I think everyone in college sports, like you see it now, it's Saban. You know, like those 5 years of Saban versus Dabo, like was established.
Yeah.
You know, like, and now coaches are moving around to like college basketball. It was like a comfort. Like you relied on those guys forever. If it's Shire, Hubert, Davis, that's good. Like let the rivalry have a new chapter. I just don't want one side to turn into like a fucking mess. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
because that was half the like you could have casual fans turned on the game, didn't know a single player, but knew like, well, why are you watching? Oh, it's K against Roy. It's K against Dean.
Last year, Duke was bad, and he was still tuned in because it's Coach K versus Roy.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's get into our interview with Providence head coach Ed Cooley. But before we do that, we want to remind you that this podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is brought to you by BetterHelp. The best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. You saw this one coming. We get annual checkups and go to the gym to maintain physical wellness and prevent injury and disease. We do chores regularly, well, at least some of us, to avoid a giant mess of a house and roaches. Going to therapy, it's like all of the above. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. And Barstool Sports agrees. They're offering BetterHelp services to their employees as an added benefit to help take care of their overall well-being. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else and not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bench. That's BetterHelp.com/bench. All right, here he is, the man at the helm for Providence, Ed Cooley. All right, we want to welcome on a very special guest. He was actually our first ever guest on the Barstool Bench Mob last year, and now he's back for year number 2. It is Ed Cooley, the head coach of the Providence Friars. Providence, number 16 in the country, 13-2 right now, coming off a game against Marquette. We'll call it that, Coach. So we appreciate you doing this right after that game at Marquette. But let's focus on the glass half full right now. 13-2, you got to love where you guys are at.
I do like where we're at. We had a tough one as we landed at about 3 a.m. And, when Marty told me that we had an opportunity to spend some time with my brothers right here on the screen, I really appreciate you guys. I'm one that always looks at the glass half full. There's going to be ups and downs in sport. There's going to be ups and downs in life. Is how you deal with it, how you respond, and can you be resilient to get to where you want to get to.
Yep. You still want to make – I like every time you talk, I want to run through a wall. Every time. It's still like the first one. But the only reason I'm making sure that you came on today is the offer still available to go to dinner with the big dog when we go to Providence?
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? Y'all pick your restaurant. I got your back. Wherever you want to eat, I got you, fellas. We're going to have a great meal when you come.
All right. That's a good interview. Let's stop.
Yeah. Marty, the freeloader. Your quote a couple of weeks ago, I loved. And obviously every coach thinks that their league is the best, right? And that's what makes sports great and college sports specifically great. You basically, for people who don't know, you talked about basketball schools in the Big East and your love for the Big East. And, hey, this is still the Big East. I love it. We all love it. The only thing I'm asking is, was there any backlash of people being like, oh, what, I guess trying to spin it to get at you, which – they shouldn't, but I'm wondering, were there anybody, the schools who left, who picked football, did anybody, kind of through the grapevine come at you? Because they shouldn't, because it should be a basketball school. But
the best way to answer that question, brother, is I don't give a damn what somebody
that's what I was expecting.
Let's be honest. If somebody is that narrow-minded or, is that soft in their job or whatever, come on, man. The Big East, it was a basketball-centric league to start, and that's where it should be, And I get the ramifications of football and the revenue it generates, but sometimes with some schools, football and basketball is not a good mix. It's not a good mix, and I just was stating how I feel, and I could be wrong, but I'm not wrong for the way I feel. Somebody else may think I'm wrong, but that's their problem, and I'll move on from there.
Watching you guys this year, it seems like this is like an Ed Cooley team. You guys are physical. It's like one of those teams you just really don't feel like playing that day. You know what I mean? It's like, we got Providence today. We're gonna have to we're gonna be bruised up after this. Is this one of your favorite teams of recent?
It is. I think, because of our maturity, we have an older team, guys, when you look at the age of our starting lineup, and they're connected. Obviously we didn't play as well as we wanted to last night, but when you look at the body of work and what our men are doing, it could be a good season. It could be a great season. We got to focus on what we can control, but this is a team that has great interchangeable pieces. We have good leadership, and again, as indicated last night, you had a 3-0 team playing an 0-3 team. And the bottom, the bottom fell out on us, and they came out on top. It goes to tell you the competitiveness of the league.
How hard is it to do with your team? You have the most quad one wins. You guys are getting talked about a lot now, and we're more in the media. Providence, look at Providence doing what they're doing. How hard is it to keep your team grounded, not looking at all that shit on the media and stuff?
I think you just have to be real with your guys. You have to be incredibly transparent. Talk about the elephant in the room. You are getting a lot of attention of what you've earned, but that don't mean nothing when the ball goes up, because that other team down the other end wants to rip your throat out. Yep. So, you got to be prepared. You got to be dialed in. You got to be alert. You got to be able to adjust on the fly. I just think you be transparent, open, and honest with your dudes, man. I think it's more transparent and it's more honest you are with your players. I think they see you as the person, not the coach.
With a game like what happened last night at Marquette, is that something where you walk through every single possession on film study? Do you just throw out the film? We see some football coaches bury the football when they get blown out. What's your approach usually?
I would say young Ed would have gone through every play, every possession. And I now, as, a little bit older, a little bit more mature, I think you focus on what you have to improve on. You know, our ball screen defense, our transition defense, our lack of execution coming out of timeouts. I think the players know they lost. The players know we didn't play well. And I think as a young coach, you may not be mindful of that. But as a veteran coach, you know, they know we got blasted. So what do we got to get better at and how do we move on? You know, I don't think you go back and rehash everything that happened.
I do love how we're talking about the game like it was World War II. It was like, well, you know, the game.
Right.
We don't need to talk about it anymore.
It's all good. The thing is, though, hey, when you have the start you have, and you know you're getting some notoriety where in the past you didn't. It's not like we're a Kentucky or we're a Duke or we're a Carolina that's consistently at that level. You know, I appreciate the love that we've gotten. But, you know, you got to earn it and you got to continue to earn it. If you don't earn it, you don't deserve shit.
Yep. Well, that was my question, too, though. Don't you feel like it takes your team a little bit longer to get recognized?
You know what? That's something that you can't focus on. You know, in media, in sport, you know, your eye is attracted to the known throughout time and throughout history. And those programs that are blue bloods, semi-blue bloods, they've earned that. So they may get the attention and they may not be there yet with their team. Yet they're on that pedestal, they're in that spotlight. Meanwhile, our job is to continue to inspire, encourage, tell our guys we're getting there. You know, don't read anything. At the end of the day, our job is to get to know March 13th and be a worthy Field of 68 team. That's the goal.
Got it.
A couple of weeks ago, win against Seton Hall, you had a little bit of a viral moment on the bench, telling your guys to be them dudes. I think everybody loved that. Is that a slogan that you've thought of before, or was that just an in-the-moment kind of thing?
That was an in-the-moment thing, you know. I mean, and when you're coaching, things come up. When you guys do your jobs, things come up. And I didn't realize it would go that way as they're printing shirts as we speak. You know what I mean? Seriously, it's like, how do you inspire your guys to get through the moment that you can bring them back at some point? And we have a belt every game that is that dude belt. Oh, and that's where, you know what I mean? We do. And that dude is defined as doing something, whether it's taking a charge, making a big shot, making free throws, you know, getting a double-double, locking up somebody's best player. I like the term that dude because it's kind of got some swag to it. Like, yeah, I'm that dude. You know what I mean? I'm that dude. So that just was something that was in the moment. Actually, when I watched it, it was funny as hell, to be honest with you.
It was. I just kept saying it. Like, I want to be that dude.
Yeah. Well, perfect.
I want to be that dude.
Perfect segue. I love the kid Horkler's game, and it looks like he's taking a jump. 10-8 this year, solid last year, but he's taking that jump. What did he do in the offseason or the preseason? Was there a one-on-one? What's elevated him now? Because it looks like he does something every game that's positive, or every play that's like he does a lot of those things that just help the team that don't show up on the box score.
He does. Obviously worked on his conditioning. You know Noah's somebody that needs to learn what we're doing and how we do it before he executes it. I think he had to learn to play at the high major level with length, speed, and athleticism. He does a lot of different things well. You know, and again, I give Marquette a lot of credit. Even yesterday, going back to that, they were dialed in on him. He had a tough time getting some shots off. So it's a learning experience for him. Once you get on the scouting report, you become an all-league player, or you become that dude when you could exceed the scouting report.
Right.
Can you play beyond the scouting report? You know what I mean? And that's something that he's going, you know, we'll talk about today later when we get to practice. You got to play beyond your scouting because nobody's just going to let you do what you're doing.
Yeah, so you're basically saying like he has a target on his back every time now because of what he's done.
And that's what I really envy about teams that have like a Villanova that has the target on their back every night. The Kentuckys, the Dukes, the Arizona. I mean, you got a target on your back every single night. And those coaches have to learn to coach their organizations that way, as I'm trying to coach this team with a target on our back and a player with a target on their back. You know, that's something that, you know, you got to give those schools a lot of credit because every night you get everybody's best shot.
So I want to ask you about the Big East because last year, Big East, everyone's like, oh, it's kind of down. It's whatever. It's always Villanova this, Villanova that. This year, it's you guys. It's Seton Hall. It's Xavier. It's UConn. It's like it's everyone. It's a very, very deep league now. What's your thoughts on it this year?
I love the Big East's depth this year. And again, I would agree. Last year wasn't the year that the Big East wanted to have, as we had 4 teams in the tournament and didn't do as well as we wanted in the tournament. But this is in college basketball, the parity in basketball right now, because of the pandemic year, you have older teams throughout the country. Even at the mid-major, low-major level, man, them teams are really good because of the age. And in the Big East is old. Villanova's old. We're old. Butler's old. The 2 youngest teams, I think, are Creighton, and I would say Georgetown. And look at the year Creighton's having, as they're off to a great start and have a big-time game tonight. I think they're on the road tonight, I believe. Creighton's on the road tonight, I think.
Yeah, I think they are.
Yeah, because they beat Villanova at home, I think, by 20 a few weeks ago.
Yep. I mean, and again, that's just saying that is like, wow.
Crazy.
I mean, like just hearing that is like, wow.
So to that point of being old, but that's one thing with the target on your back.
You calling Coach Cooley old?
No, the team.
Oh, okay.
He said
making
it.
sure. I want to make sure. I was gonna kill him.
See, that's
Coach.
messed up, man.
Yeah, I was about to punch him just for you because I was like, you're my guy, right?
Coach, I'm a big
you know
stats
what,
guy. He also said blowout, so that's 2 strikes now. If you want to just do the interview with us.
No, you know what? I did hear that too.
I know.
I did hear that, but you know what? You were right. We got a foot in the ass last night.
You know what I'm doing? I'm setting us up for that dude award.
Yeah,
Now it's only
I
down
want to
to
be
2
that.
guys
I better.
right now.
As simultaneously blowing their podcast hosts under the throwing them under the bus.
Yeah, after dinner, I wanted that dude like fork or something. All right.
So with having your target on your back, but you do have veterans, so that kind of helps in a way, right? Because it's kind of a been here, done that before with this team.
Yeah.
How do you spin that to a positive?
Well, you say, guys, you know what? We've all lost games. We've all won some big games. How do we win the next one? How do we learn from what just happened, and how do we get better for the moment? And that's where hopefully the veteran leadership, you're not as anxious, and you as a coach is not as negative. You know, when you lose that way, man, it's easy to lose your cool. Easy, of which I probably did last night during the game.
Yeah, I would have. I did honestly. I was watching like, oh, we got Cooley on tomorrow. Watching like motherfuckers right now.
It's all good though.
No,
when,
I love it.
When Arthur said that I had an opportunity to come see my guy, I said absolutely. You know, a lot of times after a game like that, people will hide. I think you show your true person and you show your true character after tough losses. Not a 1 point or 3 point loss. You know, when you got a foot in your ass and it's still hanging out, I think you got to show up, be present, be real, and hey, you know, it's on to the next one.
I do agree with that because like it's so easy to come on interviews if you won by 40 last night and it's like, oh, we're still doing so well. It's like showing up now and being like admitting it, because I love when people admit like the things that actually happened. Like you're not just getting past it, like, oh, don't talk about last night. It happened. Things happened.
Right.
We're gonna move past it. So and I feel like that's how you coach your players too. Like it's like we're not going to forget about it, but we are kind of going to forget about it and just keep moving forward. Got
to keep moving on, man. It's a long season that goes fast. I mean, we're already
crazy.
We're 15, so we got 16 games left that they're guaranteeing you. I mean, we're at just about the halfway point, and we got 8 games in the next probably 26 days. So we got, come on, man.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You can't feel sorry for yourself. You know, you got to, brush off. Let's go on to the next. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Absolutely. I saw somewhere that Nate Watson, maybe if basketball doesn't work out, can be a comedian. Can you give us some behind-the-scenes looks on what goes down with that?
He was the TikTok.
You guys would love being in his presence. I don't know. You know, I'm not big social media person. You know what I mean? As I'm one of them old school dudes. Not old school dudes.
Of course.
You know, TikTok. He's got close to 1 million followers, and
Jeez.
You would love him. Great young man, funny as can be. He likes to impersonate people. He's just a joy to be around. He makes you feel great every time you walk away from him.
We might need to get him.
No. I tell you what, he'd be great to have on.
All right.
He'd be great to have on.
Definitely
so get in touch with Arthur, and
Definitely.
Arthur will definitely hook you up.
Definitely. Last night obviously was a tough road trip. I'm not going to say the
Jesus Christ! How many fucking times are we gonna bring?
it goes in a different direction. Jake's doing the bad knocks. You've been around the league forever, right? What's the best road trip and the worst road trip in the league? Whether it's, hey, there's nowhere to eat in Milwaukee, or the hotels always suck or they put us in a shitty locker room. What's the best road trip and what's the worst for whatever reasons in the league?
The best and worst. Wow, I've never been asked that.
I'm a unique guy.
Most of the time, the opposing teams in our league do a good job with accommodating it, and it's not like we play in a bad city. We play in Indianapolis, you play in Cincinnati, there's good restaurants there. Omaha, is a great place to go. I don't know if there's a bad one. The best one is obviously New York City. Yeah. Madison Square Garden is probably the ultimate place to try to play and to try to compete for championships. I don't know if there's a bad, but the best one to me is New York City. And
we're a block away.
Even Jamaica, though? Sometimes they play in Jamaica.
That one's a little rough.
See, I knew I could get it out of them. I knew it.
I would say a little rough, but to me, I embrace the opportunity of roughness because in life, everything's not going to be what you want it to be. And what you make out of a tough situation really defines the type of success that you can have. You know what I mean? And I mean that sincerely.
And I went to Omaha, Nebraska. It sucks. Oh, I don't care.
Hey, nice hotels. They got some really good steak places out there.
They do have a good steak place. You're right.
That their arena is, second to none. They'll, I think when we play them next Tuesday night, I think it's dollar beer night. So they'll be all fired up in there. McDermott will have them on fire. So I just appreciate coaching, fellas. Like the fact that you can coach for a living. Just think about it. You call timeouts for a living. Just stop and think about that for a second. And again, there's a lot of different things that go into it, whether it's recruiting, fundraising, friend raising, you're a mentor, you're a father figure, but doing something you love for a living, I don't know how many people can actually say that. I go to work and I'm like, wow, they actually pay me to do this. And that's big time to me.
Yeah, I literally say that every day of what I'm doing right now. But what you just said, like, it is crazy. You get paid to stop the game. Like he can just stop the game whenever he wants.
Time out.
Yeah, it's crazy if you think about it.
It'd be like, time out, motherfuckers, time out.
That's awesome.
Shit, that's amazing.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate the time, and we respected you so much, but now even more that you're open and honest with everything going on. 13-2 right now. Hopefully get back in the win column this weekend at home against St. John's, and we'll hope to keep in touch down the road.
And
we'll see him soon.
We're going. We're gonna hit you up. I think we might come in February.
Seriously, do me a favor. Get in touch with Arthur. Send your sizes. You're gonna get them dude shirts. All right. Send your sizes to Arthur.
Yep.
Let me know when you're coming up. Seriously, I'd love to spend some time with you guys. Come to practice, hang out with us in the Ruane Center, and I'll look forward to spending a nice meal with you, okay?
Seriously, though, thanks, Coach. You're the best.
Much love, family. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we won't come empty-handed, Coach. I have an elevator set for you. So.
I got you.
I'll help you out.
All right, thanks, Coach.
See you, Coach.
All good. Be great, man. Appreciate you.
All right, that was Ed Cooley. Guys, we respected him before this interview. I didn't think it was possible to respect Ed Cooley more, but somehow he did that. It was incredible.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like when someone's real like that, where it's like we land at 3 a.m., lost by 40, but I'm still going to talk to you guys about it. And seeing his insight and everything, and just I understand why he's been around so long and why he's never going to leave ever, because he's still positive about being a coach, and it's you could tell how cool he's I still get paid for this stuff. It's you're 40s, 50s, 60, well over. Well, I don't even know how old he is actually.
Right. Well, no, it's just not the entitlement of yeah, of course I'm the coach of Providence.
It's I just love doing it. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Just there's no robot answers from him. It's not hey,
None.
we're gonna be like this. Okay, what about next? We're gonna him just saying timeout, motherfucker. I will die for that.
Yeah,
man.
he's the best. And that's why this podcast is great to us, because the only other way you get quotes from coaches is post-game interviews where it is robotic.
Yeah, exactly.
You made that decision to sub out this guy. Why? It's you thought it gave us best. This is where personalities come out. They have great personalities, which I don't think they were able to show. It's awesome. And he's got the best one. It's awesome. So I can't wait to go back to the Dunk. I've been there 4 or 5 times in my life. All good games. Awesome arena. excited to go back.
Yeah, never been. They're 13-2
You've
right
never been?
now. Never been to the state of Rhode
I mean,
Island, no.
it's like their it's not the nicest arena in the world, but it's their home. They love it. There's like a fun to it that
Got it.
they like up there. It's great.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, they're in great shape to make the tournament now. So hopefully they do that, make a run. And Ed Cooley, I mean,
And then hopefully Carolina's not in their fucking
Right, they play
Always get
North
fucked with
Carolina
Carolina.
every year.
Always get fucked with Carolina.
yeah. All right, let's get into the games. We already talked about earlier in the show the Wednesday games. Let's get into Monday, Tuesday. A couple of marquee games. Let's start with Monday. I know Big Cat has been, we can say, on us about this, but number 23, Wisconsin, 74. Number 3, Purdue, 69. A humongous upset on the road for the Badgers. I'll apologize for the 12th time. I was wrong. Rico, you were right. Your take, Johnny Davis. They would be,
All right,
they would
well,
be good
yeah.
without him.
I mean, we want to do that. We want to fucking start with shots.
I'm sorry, I'm on my phone.
I'm not throwing you shots.
getting
I'm
smoked.
giving you a chance to defend yourself.
Dana's having. I just lost 1,000 followers on Twitter because Big Cat's telling people don't follow me because Dana's for Dana. I'm getting smoked. I hate. I'm working so hard for these fucking followers, and then I'm getting smoked now.
Rico, I'm not throwing shots
No,
at
it's
you.
fine.
We have to defend ourselves.
I want to get this number correct.
Okay, as Rico's looking that up. So
All right, here we go.
right.
I got it. Okay. So I went and did the math. Okay.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, yeah, obviously if they didn't have Johnny Davis, they'd suck. He's the best player. He's probably player of the year right now.
Yeah,
Okay?
I'd say him.
I get it.
Keegan Murray, Iowa, maybe.
Yeah, close. I get it. But what Wisconsin doing? I get it. I've looked it up. He takes like 35% of their shots, and he accounts for 31.5% of their scoring. Historically, 3 guys have made the Final Four over 27% in the last 20 years. Melo, Kemba, Buddy Hield. Now I get it. To Big Cat's spin. Once you get there, 2 of them did win the
the whole
title.
thing, yeah.
Okay? But odds are against them to get there. I don't see the supporting cast of Johnny Davis. Now, he is delivering every time there's a big game. I get it. He's unbelievable. But in the toughest spots, he's going to have an off night eventually, right? I just don't buy the surrounding cast. I'm sorry. People could be like, well, they're still a good team. Yes. But the way I always separate things is have a nice season or do I take them as a serious Final Four contender? I do not take Wisconsin as a serious Final Four contender, but they are having a good season. He's player of the year. I think both things can be true. So that's where I'm
with
at.
that. The thing I will say is you won't find a tougher spot than at Purdue until tournament time.
Got it.
Right? They're the
Okay.
number 3 team in the country. If he can do it there, he can do it in any setting. No?
Fair.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's upsetting that. Of course, this team's just proving us wrong really fast.
Yeah. I mean, we were wrong. If we just say we're wrong,
No,
it's
yeah,
easier
we're
to get
wrong.
over.
But it's kind of a one-trick pony. Their
Well,
whole
yeah,
team is.
but if your pony's fucking
if you're
winning the
pony's
Kentucky
really
Derby
nice.
every time,
Yeah,
you're
all
gonna
right.
just keep doing it.
Yeah, you're right. So I got you.
Yeah. So Wisconsin, I mean, we can break down their schedule, but if they can prove they can win at Purdue, it doesn't really matter who they have next because this is probably, I don't know what KenPom had their percentage at, but it was probably their least probable win on the schedule this entire season. So if they're winning that game, who knows? Any game moving forward is winnable.
Do we worry about Purdue a little bit?
So that was my next point. Purdue, now 12-2. Of course, the other loss was the Ron Harper half-court shot. So you can call it a fluke, you can call it a loss. It was both. It could be both. But then they lose this home game to Wisconsin. I know when we went to Indiana, everyone was saying you're at the wrong Indiana venue for home court advantage.
Yeah.
And they lost at Mackey.
I mean,
I think there was a break, but still.
There's a lot of flaws in that team when I was watching.
Go ahead specifically. What do you
It
think
was
stood out?
more. What stood out. One thing is refs don't know how to call anything on Edey.
He got fouled 3 times on.
He
He
got-
eventually got fouled, but it doesn't seem like they're calling the first foul.
They're not because they don't know how. He's too big, and I don't
The
know.
guy had his arm, and they went into a replay. The guy had his arm
know.
hooked completely in. He
In-
made him go get. He still got the rebound, came down, had to go up,
Yeah.
and then they showed.
Usually-
there were 3 fouls on that play.
Usually, it's
3.
like an advantage of being that big. It's like it is obviously an advantage, but he was getting fouled so much the refs like just couldn't figure it out, and like he kept and like you're right, they would call it on 3rd foul, he get fouled twice,
And then obviously Williams.
Yeah,
getting
Williams,
fouled, too.
same
I mean, he's a
thing,
big
and
guy.
I don't know. What's it? How do you pronounce it? Stefanovic. He wasn't shooting that great at a time, and Ivy was okay. Like they weren't just as dominant as I thought they were. Like it was so clean. There was just obviously a bad game for them. It's going to happen. They're still really fucking good, but I don't know. It was almost like they tried to force the big guys too much.
So Edie had 24. That was a career
I could be
high.
wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you should look for him.
Like, yeah, if you can get that guy to the line, what does he shoot from the line, Jake?
Edie?
Yeah, because it's a high percentage free throw. Like, that should be the goal. Get him to the line. If he's going to shoot 70%, 75%.
71.
Yeah, he shoots 71. We want him taking.
Which is impressive for a big man.
Right, we want him taking 10 to 12 a game because it's a high percentage shot. And it
4 of 8 in this game.
Gets those guys in foul trouble. Yeah, so I get why they're feeding him, Marty, but I mean, it hurts, though, because the more you feed him, the more you take away from Ivy, who's fucking unbelievable.
Yep.
But I will tell you, I'll say this. Purdue is a team that kind of talked a lot for a team who hasn't done anything.
You mean historically in the tournament?
Yeah. And especially with Painter. Now, Painter, I think, is a great coach. And if you tell me a guy to buy stock, and who we talked about last, like with Drew and Few, who can be the next guy through, Oates, all these guys.
It was our debate, who needs one, who needs another, right?
Right,
Coaches?
who needs one, which I think is a great discussion you could do every year, to be honest with you. I think we open it up again. But Painter would be one of those guys where if somebody said, hey, I bet on him to get the next one, I'd say, yeah, of course. He's good, but they haven't done dick.
Yeah.
Right, one Elite Eight.
Until, don't just keep, talk about the buzz of Painter, but don't talk about, he did anything. That's the issue I have. Like, right now they're talking we've done, what do you mean? Like, they're like a 5-time it's like,
the
you
big
haven't
thing
done anything yet.
the biggest thing with them too, everyone's like, oh well, they have everyone back. Sometimes that doesn't mean.
Well, as we just heard from Ed Cooley, everyone has everyone.
Yeah,
back.
everyone's
It's
back.
a weird
And
year.
again, this is not me. I'm not selling my stock on Purdue. I don't think that they're a bad team at all. And when Johnny Davis is scoring 35 points, it's hard to. He just got on a roll.
Yep.
You don't know how they could play completely different. But I don't know. It's. I love college basketball this year because it's not just one clear-cut team. It's fucking there's a lot of good teams.
Yeah, there's probably 8 to 12 teams that could realistically win it all.
Very deep.
Do we think Purdue is still a 1 seed? Just drop them out, because Duke and Baylor and Gonzaga were probably ahead of them before this. So
I haven't really got too bent out of shape about the seeds. I know,
but it's always a big
I think groups are the way to go now.
I mean,
I'm not knocking them. It's not being like, oh, you're obsessed. I just think right now, just keep grouping them. Purdue is
honestly, everyone people only care about seeds.
At least at the top line.
Okay.
Ranks. You're talking about ranks, right?
So who would be the 4?
No, if bracketology, would they be a 1 seed right now?
Yeah,
so who would be your 4 1 seeds?
Right.
Probably
so
Gonzaga, Duke,
Baylor, Duke are locks
Baylor.
right now, and then it was Purdue. You could say
honestly, mine
Kansas.
would be Kansas.
They're 12-1. They haven't really
Kansas
beaten
is a
anyone
forgot
besides
about
Michigan
it
State
team.
opening night.
Kansas is a forgot about
Michigan
team.
State's good.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's
We're
their
gonna
one good win.
Find out Saturday.
And remember, Kansas's one loss was that fluke against Dayton at the buzzer with the doinks.
Yeah.
If that didn't go in, they'd probably be number 2 behind Baylor right now.
That would have been a lot of fun to have undefeated Kansas, undefeated Baylor
Yes, but
coming up.
yeah, but no, I think Purdue is probably stocks them down. It's a home loss to a 2 seed, but it doesn't really mean much. Win the national championship. That's all that matters.
They're still
Yeah.
getting a good
Final
coach.
four.
You got good personnel. They'll be fine.
Yeah. The other big game from earlier this week, so we fast forward to Tuesday night now. Over in the SEC, number 21 LSU 65, number 16 Kentucky 60. Fellas, there's a lot to unpack from this game. You look at the LSU side, you guys see Will Wade's halftime explosion.
I like that.
After they stopped guarding. And then on the flip side,
That was
how
how
much
players, right?
Yes, because they stopped
lighting them up.
the offensive the lack of the offensive, or excuse me, Kentucky's offensive rebound, the lack of the defensive rebounds. But then Kentucky, how much do you dock them because their guards were injured throughout the game? Wheeler, Ty limped off. So is this kind of just a throw it away game, or are we taking away anything?
No, because they had a chance to win it right down to the end, even with the injuries.
Crazy finish.
Yeah, not good for Marty Mush.
No, I fucking.
Do you want to rant?
I had
was
$500 on Kentucky +3.
Oy.
And when you see, because Duke was on during the ending, so I was watching Duke, and I turned back to LSU with 30 seconds left, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm +3 with the ball down 1. Like, this is a push or a win,
Unless
easy.
it goes to OT, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. And then all of a sudden, so it was one of those things like you couldn't even think of that happening. I couldn't even think that wasn't a possibility in my mind. Like no end, and like if I lost, like, I was like they missed free throws kept happening. Not one free throw happened. Not one
the game
free
just
throw.
ended.
And it just ended. It was like what the fuck.
Yeah, I mean LSU they have one loss on the year.
Number one defense in the country.
Are they? According to KenPom, yeah.
That's what it's being said. Number one in the
No,
country.
they certainly are. They've given up a max. Again, they had some bye game wins, but the most they've given up this year, of course, 70 to Auburn, but in a win, 63 points to Penn State, and that was in overtime. So their defense is there, but Kentucky, I don't know if there's any updates on
those
Sevilla Wheeler
injuries
and Ty.
Kentucky right now is it matters
It
on
depends
that.
on
You
that,
can't lose two guys in your rotation.
Two guards.
You also, and you could say
They've been good.
normal SEC years, Kentucky loses two guys. It's going to sound crazy. Kentucky loses two guys for even 5 to 6 games in the SEC. Depending on the schedule, they're going to be more than good because the SEC is always down. I've been saying it again. It's a fucking gauntlet this year. That's going to hurt even more.
Yeah.
You know, like I could see Kentucky, again, still losing these close games. I said it. The SEC is going to be unfairly seeded this year because your records are going to see like Auburn. You think Auburn's going to win the SEC? Could you see Auburn winning the SEC with 4 to 5 losses? Is that outlandish?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not crazy.
It's not crazy, right? So that,
But the weird thing is, I think Auburn's like way better than LSU.
I get it. But my point is, if Auburn has 4 losses and wins the SEC or 5 losses and wins the SEC, what does the third team have? 6, 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not bad. They're all not bad. It's just that good of a conference. We got to see what's going on with Kentucky's injuries.
The conference took a little bit of a hit with Arkansas. That was like a main thing with like it was making it deeper, and they are a bad team. I'm not holding back.
Florida's
anymore.
a little bit up. We could still see maybe
tonight's I'll
maybe
tell you
Mississippi
Florida.
Well, we
State
talked about it
comes
earlier
up.
in the show. Time traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Vanderbilt.
Bad.
Must
Tough
bust.
loss.
Not ideal.
Scottie Pippen sitting courtside.
Yeah, and he fouled out down the stretch too. They had the chance to win
it's
it.
Tough.
But
Sheboy's
did you see Will Wade's comment about him?
13 rebounds.
He puts
I know he's
he puts his
awesome.
big ass in front of the rim and he eats up every basketball.
Yeah, he's fucking really. He's a good rebounder.
Could he be player of the year in the SEC?
SEC, I think so. It's hard to compare for national, like big man and
Yeah,
What if he goes ballistic?
if he
with
goes
these two
20
guys
rebounds
out?
a game. Oh, if they are a 3 seed with those two guys out a month, then
Yeah.
he could be
True, just
national
saying.
player of the year.
How long are they out? Do you know?
No,
I don't think we have anything
nobody
yet.
knows yet. Nobody knows.
But
I mean, we can make a phone call.
We can't.
Rico relationships?
Tell us.
yeah, so Kentucky obviously a lot depends on their injuries, but LSU 1 loss. Will Wade, I feel like, is in that Ed Cooley category that he doesn't care what anyone thinks about him. He just coaches his guys.
Yeah.
That interview, go rewatch that interview on YouTube.
YouTube,
with us. He was very he's very openly, just kind of I am what I am. Yeah,
I do like it though. It's like, well, I'm gonna say what I
like him
feel.
too,
and
yeah, I
if
like
you have
him.
an opinion, I'm not gonna be mad at you. But like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm complimenting his offense. He's like, yeah, it's good. We're good on offense because we stink on defense. I mean, it's still an all-time line.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, before love-hate, Marty, we got to talk about Coach K, Georgia Tech, a little do-to-do, right? Am I using it in the correct?
Yeah, it's a little do-to-do.
So
I'll be unbiased.
How does he
I won't
not,
do troll.
Let me ask you this, though, Marty. How does he not see it coming? That no matter what he does,
Michael DeVoe, we'll explain the
he
context.
could have walked over and wiped the sweat off his face. People would still come. He's at such a point where he's such a villain. Nothing is going his.
Can I actually say something?
Explain
though?
from the start for people who didn't see it.
DeVoe kind of turned to
On
him.
Georgia
And
Tech.
we could cut.
Georgia
Are we allowed
Tech.
to- Can we cut the clip into YouTube? I don't know.
Well, it's
No.
more visual.
You can't.
Yeah.
But DeVoe kind of like turned to him and said something. We don't know exactly
like
what he
pointed
said.
at him. He definitely
and
pointed at him.
obviously it triggered Coach K, and he walked towards him and kept walking him towards, like almost like sending him to his room, pretty much what he was doing. But let me ask you a question.
And
I'm
then,
not
he,
going
then
to
he
do.
talked to the refs. Then he tried to get the refs to get
Yeah,
him
he
in
talked to the
trouble.
refs. He told on him. It was tattletale. Yeah, didn't. I'm not going to be
Not a
troll.
good look.
I won't be troll Marty for a second. But in like the old days, remember it was like always like, oh shit, like Coach K came up to me and said something. It was like, wow. Like Kobe came up to me and did this. Now it's like if Coach K does something And I know what he did. Like, I would make fun of a coach if they did that as well.
Right.
Like, it was kind of like,
If that was Boeheim, you'd crush him.
yeah, I'd be like, look at this loser. Like, I don't need you telling me, like, hey, son, it's okay. Like, you know who I am. Like, it was almost like that. But you know what I mean? Like, in the older days, it was like with this.
I think you're answering your own question. When you do 4 to 5 things of like, who the fuck does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
You kind of answer your own question. I get it. I totally get what you're saying.
You know
but
what?
He
It's a
does,
different-
the Oregon thing when he did it to that kid,
It's
Dylan
a different
Brooks,
times.
right?
It's different times.
The reporter.
Oh, the student reporter series.
This. He's saying we shouldn't be
Don't
playing
forget
games.
he's a troop, all right? I'm not going to let you all.
I'm just saying you answered your question.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was, obviously, it was funny. I
Yes.
loved it. I love every part of him. I think it's funny what
Kid
he does.
didn't even flinch. He just was gone.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Marty, any other thoughts on Duke before we move on? 12-point win, first game in forever.
Honestly, it was they played bad.
Yeah,
They-
Georgia Tech was down 6 with at the final media time.
They controlled
I can't look at the face shield anymore.
Yeah, it's bad. They controlled the whole game. They controlled the entire game. Like, Duke was fine. The thing I am liking about Duke is when they don't play well, and their defense is really good. They play defense, and which I liked about last night.
I'm just warning you that they're not playing good and still winning, but winning against bad teams.
Yeah.
And I get it. You asked me who's one of the 5 teams that win the national title. It's 1,000% Duke. I'm just saying.
But you have to
now
factor in, though,
a 2-month stretch of playing not really good teams, and don't really see a lot emerging.
Well, we don't know exactly yet. Like, Miami's been playing pretty well. They play them Saturday, which is a good game. UNC is not a bad team. Florida State's a bad team. I'll tell you that. Florida State's a bad
got
team.
UNC's
smoked
not
by Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Great, though. I got you. Okay,
UNC,
so we'll just let it unplay.
But I know what you're saying. You're
I got
right.
you.
But Duke hasn't played in 2 months. They were cobwebs yesterday. But you're right. I mean,
Also,
right now, it was Wake Forest and UNC and Miami, the only teams that.
Well, yeah, I had it in beating the buzzer. NC State beat Virginia Tech, so the Hokies are 0-3 after they had some buzz
They
in
were
the beginning.
supposed to have buzz.
They were
Yeah.
supposed to be good.
Wake
Makes sense.
Forest, they smoked Florida State. FSU has been awful this
So
season.
bad.
Like, yeah, UNC, maybe Wake, maybe
Tell-
Louisville.
Marty, if you take Duke,
I don't know
at
who else.
Miami, you're an idiot.
Miami
They
always
alwa-
wins that game.
Always wins that
I mean,
game.
you know I'm going to take Duke.
You're an idiot.
But
Warning
yes,
you.
they do.
Well, it's home against Miami this Saturday.
It's only one. They don't repeat.
They do not repeat.
Big.
Oh, okay, fine. So
Big.
forget it. Big. Big.
Miami, we talked about earlier, the game against Syracuse. But yeah, I mean, we can have this mini discussion. Wake Forest smokes FSU. NC State beats Virginia Tech. Right now, tournament teams, North Carolina, maybe Wake and Louisville. Bubble teams,
Miami.
maybe Miami.
Yeah, I mean they're all,
But those are all bubble teams.
but they're all
Like,
going to eat each other. They're all
Right.
going to be on the bubble. They're all going to be on the bubble. So
yeah.
that's what it is.
So we're looking at
It's crazy.
maybe 4 teams.
ACC back to back now. 2 bad years.
Marty, do you still feel like the ACC gets more teams than the WCC, or are you losing a little confidence?
No.
Wait, what does that mean?
Whoa, he's admitting defeat.
No, I'm not admitting defeat. I think it's going to be almost the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you admit is wrong for you.
No, it's not wrong. If I'm win, I win. But it's going to be close.
But you're backtracking a little
All right,
bit.
right now it's Duke Gonzaga is a wash no matter what, and it's going to be UNC and BYU, and then it's going to be a gauntlet after that.
Okay.
St. Mary's, San Francisco are in better shape right now than Wake and Louisville, I think.
I don't think
I got a note on San Francisco.
Then Wake, no chance.
Wake's 12-3.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
San Francisco and
Against
Loyola.
worse teams.
San Francisco and Loyola Chicago agree to play a game.
Yeah, that was one of my loves.
Thursday, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Awesome.
TV details still being streamed.
Well,
Or
Salt
still
Lake
being
City,
determined.
so, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But Marty, you got to agree, it's closer than you
It's
would have
close.
liked.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's honestly really weird ACC's down. It makes no sense.
It's crazy.
It's like, how are you not, like, kids not wanting to go to Louisville and fucking Virginia? Like, what's going on with Virginia?
Yeah, I mean, they beat Syracuse, but
I
they
fucking
have so
knew
many
they were.
losses.
Did
I
they-
bet Clemson last night.
Virginia
they
beat
won.
Syracuse.
Last night. Virginia,
a few days
Clemson,
ago.
who
Virginia
they
beat
won.
Clemson.
Oh,
Virginia
so
won.
Virginia's kind of been a little back.
Virginia's making, I mean, they're 9-5.
They're not though. There's no more.
But they've lost it to James Madison and Navy.
Yeah, I
but
know.
there's no more. They're elite. Like they're elite.
No, they're not elite
Virginia.
at all.
They're back in the middle of the pack. Yeah.
Like, if Virginia has a good ACC season, what are they, a 6 seed at best?
For sure.
Like, yeah, but they could be in the right mix too, so I forgot about them. All right,
Imagine having to play that style. Sorry, Jake.
No, you're
Imagine
good.
having to play that style and you're only Like it's one thing if the style sucks when you're winning a championship, but you could justify it because you're winning a championship. Now they're middle of the pack, Marty, and they're playing this fucking hold it out offense.
Yeah. All right. Love, hate. We can do this quickly. My love is a AP voter by the name of Steven Tsai. Did you guys see what he did?
No.
He accidentally submitting his rankings for 4th instead of Gonzaga. He selected Georgia because they're both G's. So Georgia got 22 points in this week's poll accidentally. So they were in the receiving votes.
I have a problem with that.
Why? I mean, they fixed it.
The head guy didn't call him when he submitted it.
It was fixed. I mean, I don't know.
Don't you think, Marty?
Yeah.
Like if you, I don't know. You just like on a test, if you forgot there was a full page, you left it all blank. The teacher should be able to be like, "Hey, Cahill, like what?" Be like, "I swear to God, I didn't know." All right, do it right now in front of me. You know what I mean? Like, Georgia doesn't get fucking 22 votes
because they're ranked 4th by one guy.
Amazing.
Head guy calls him up and makes it go away.
Yeah.
Boom.
Bench Mob account tweeted it. He tied Gonzaga and Georgia 4th.
Hey, he's seen something different. Maybe.
Tom Crean beat Memphis. He'll always have that.
Maybe we should put a future on or something. Someone's seeing something.
Yeah. And then my hate is that they're starting to be games with no fans again. UCLA is playing once again. I think they're playing Long Beach, and I think it's families only. I mean, it's good that UCLA is getting a game in, but there's no fans.
UCLA's got a fucking...
UCLA's a forgot about it team, too.
They haven't played.
Yep.
They've legit...
Limited to families of team members.
That's why I wanted to go see Texas so bad against Seton Hall, because it was like, who are these guys?
Texas was a good win last night, by the way.
Yes.
Kansas State was COVID issues, but...
Yeah, but that's a team where it's like, that was a game they could have definitely lost.
Yeah. All right, who's next?
I'll do love-hate. I love the upsets. Every night, it's fucking... Sometimes it's going against us, going against our friends. Vanderbilt beating Arkansas. But either way, I love the upsets. We're probably going to get court stormings back soon, safely.
We've seen them a few times.
Yeah,
right?
give me, get or every night, whatever. Give me the upsets. I love it. I love that. I hate
Vanderbilt, by the way. Sorry, 4 wins in a row. They're like 9-4.
It's crazy.
Hey,
watch out, 9-4.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but I hate reporters who haven't taken a jumper in their whole life and maybe don't change their headlines or apologize when they should.
Rico was on a Big East Twitter space with John Fanta, and he went after his New York Post, New York Daily News.
Zach Brazil. Post.
So check out that on the Bench Mob account. Marty.
Johnny.
He was getting
I gotta reach
You made him
out.
a little uncomfortable, to be honest.
I'm going to reach out to him right now.
Yeah,
actually.
he's like, oh, maybe this guy is crazy.
Yeah. He was like, oh, all right. And then he said, okay.
It's all-time audio. I took a shot at the end, too.
Yeah. All right, Marty, what do you got?
I love Coach Cooley. That's who I'm going to go with now because I had other ones, but you know what? What he did today is fucking he's the best. And I hate food delivery apps. I have been getting
college basketball
because I've been watching college basketball.
That's when we can do it.
Yeah, I've been watching college basketball, and I
he
ordered.
Hasn't had one outland. This is like.
Yeah,
it's been good behavior.
You know what?
Let him play with a fucking toy.
He admits he might be wrong about the WCC.
Let him play with a fucking toy.
You gotta be honest today. I haven't trolled. I haven't
Let
trolled
him
about
play
Coach
with
K.
Coach K.
No, I didn't troll about Coach K.
Play with your toy.
I didn't say anything about. I don't understand rebounds. That was big of me. Which is you play. I don't.
The delivery apps.
The delivery apps are upsetting me. 2 nights in a row. I ordered them. I didn't get my burger from McDonald's. I'd order twice. And they banged me because I'm too lazy to complain.
Yep.
And then the second thing, I ordered a case of water. I ordered scoops and Oreos. Got single stuffed Oreos. Got 1 water bottle. Wrong bag of chips. And a random thing of salsa. That's not even close.
You know what's bad? When you go and do that thing where you they do the groceries for you. My wife had me do that one time. Are you there doing an inquiry for 30 minutes? Like, oh, we don't have this vitamin water. And they're like, well, where do you have?
Yeah, you're going back and forth,
then
right?
Then they do it's not like they go, like they have options and they bring all the vitamin waters there and then say, which one do you like? And pull that out. Oh, we didn't have this, bro. You want Edie's Rocky Road? Like, no, it's the guy goes and gets one and then he comes back. Next problem. Like the guy's doing, you're watching him do fucking suicides. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, quickly, beating the buzzer. 3, 2, 1. Iowa 80, Maryland 75. Keegan Murray drops at least 35 points the second time in the last 4 games.
He's really fucking good.
House money. Let Iowa make the tournament. It's a great end to our friend Bohannon's career.
Number 1, Baylor 84, Oklahoma 74. Groves, they hang around for a little bit. Baylor's still Baylor.
Yeah, Oklahoma gave them everything that they could. Baylor's unbelievable.
Yep.
Number 9, Auburn 81, South Carolina 66. Marty, you all right on this one?
Auburn, that was before the season. This is like that. That's when I've been on. You know?
Texas A&M 81, Georgia 79. You guys see this buzzer beater for the Aggies? They're 12-2. Buzz Williams a little under the radar. And Texas A&M and Vanderbilt the combined 21-6
is not. They're like a
Give me
weird
that
team.
again.
9-4, 12-2. Wow. 21-6.
Not bad.
That's crazy.
One of them, I don't know which one. One of them's gonna go on a Northwestern run of 0-9, and you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, we got excited for them for a minute."
That's a crazy stat.
I know.
9-4, 12-2, and they're both 1-0 in conference play. Good for them. Good for Buzz. Good for Coach Stackhouse. Illinois 76, Minnesota 53. The Illini take care of business against Minnesota, a fellow 10-win team that was supposed to be in last place in the Big Ten too.
Yeah, Illinois. I like Illinois. Illinois is good.
Illinois is a team I'm usually hating on. You got to watch out for them.
Very good.
They're kind of quietly just dumbing teams.
Also,
And
Carmelo's still out.
yeah. And then lastly, this moves on to with this weekend. Rutgers 75, Michigan 67. They had COVID problems for Michigan. Now we're going to a game this weekend in Ann Arbor where Michigan looks to stay above 500.
Hey, listen, we're 1-0 in live shows.
We are.
Wolverines better show out. It's a fucking big one.
Rivalry game.
It's a fucking big one.
Yeah. So Rick's.
I'm excited.
Noon Saturday. Game at 2:30. Come hang out with us beforehand. We'll have merch. We'll have trivia. You can come hang out, talk college hoops, talk about whatever you want. Also, do you guys see the handshake line post game? Things got a little interesting. I think it was Moussa Diabate. Had to be held back a little bit.
I didn't.
He's just being held back.
Okay. I mean, they're
love
frustrated. They're 7-6. So
Yeah.
No, I
frustrated.
love that.
I don't know what sparked the frustration.
It's almost
but
better. But
maybe-
it's showing now they're just rattled.
Right, they haven't.
now.
You know what that shows me? We're not rolling over. Like it. You may
Right.
not be
Yeah,
winning
we're
the
out.
games, but at least they haven't lost the locker room yet. He
Yeah.
hasn't lost the locker room. So.
Yeah, and their season turns around
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yes.
It has to.
We're
kind
1-0.
of.
They
They can't go to
It's literally-
500.
This is the
We're
national
1-0.
championship game for them.
Yep.
They lose this game.
We'll see you Saturday.
They lose
That's really
this
all it is.
game. They are not making the tournament.
You think their season's over?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
I mean, it's
They'd
not-
have to
yeah, it'd be
beat. They would have
500.
to beat Purdue. They have to beat everyone.
Yep. We'll see you Saturday. Big game.
Crazy.
They have
7
no
and
good
6
wins, right?
overall.
Big game.
Then their stretch. It's Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois, Maryland, Indiana.
What's
It's
their
next
best
5
win?
games. Their best win is San Diego State.
Yeah, knock.
See you Saturday. Big game.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be
Good.
fun.
Ricks,
So we'll
Ricks,
see you at
Ricks, Ricks.
Hey, listen, Ed Cooley. It's easy to be friends with everybody when things are going well.
Yeah,
There's a foxhole.
yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll see you guys this weekend.